Have you been asked to analyze the impact of special pricing or special deals on gross profit and you're not quite sure how to do it? Well, you've come to the right place because I'm Professor Capko and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to do that in today's video. But first, I want to say I believe something awesome is about to happen for you, so be on the lookout for it. And now, back to the video. Let's take a look at this example here. We've got Gigi's Pizza Parlor, and they normally sell 412 medium pizzas on a Tuesday night. The price per pizza is $13.99, and the variable cost per pizza is $2.80. The owner is considering a Tuesday night special with the following terms. Buy one medium pizza at regular price and get a second one for only 1 cent. The owner asked you to calculate how many medium pizzas they would have to sell to generate the same gross profit that was generated without the special. So let's take a look at this and break it down, and we can do the calculations. Here we've got the price, that's the revenue per unit, per pizza, and we've got the variable cost per pizza is $2.80. That means every pizza produced cost Gigi's $2.80 to produce. That is just the variable cost. That has nothing to do with the fixed costs such as the rent or the insurance or the lease payments. None of that is included. This is just per pizza. The more pizzas they make, each one costs $2.80, and that does not change for purposes of this calculation. Now, the revenue per pizza, as we said, is $13.99, and we're trying to figure out the impact on gross profit. If you recall, gross profit is revenues minus the cost of goods sold, or sometimes COGS, cost of goods sold. In other words, the cost of goods sold in this case is $2.80 per pizza, and the revenues would be the price of the pizza times the number of pizzas sold. So that is a good starting spot, is we need to figure out how much they're making in this example. So let's figure out how much per pizza they're making. In other words, we're going to find what's called the contribution margin per unit. If you're not sure what contribution margin is, I have a video up here that I'm linking in the corner that will show you how contribution margin is calculated. So let's start out with, we've got each pizza, the revenue is $13.99 per pizza. And we're going to subtract from that our variable cost of $2.80. So I'm going to subtract $2.80, and that's the variable cost per pizza. And of course, you can do this in your head, but I'm going to use my handy dandy BA2 Plus calculator, which is a great financial calculator. If you want to get one of these for yourself, I've got a link down in the description, and there's actually one on the screen as well. So let's do the calculation. It's $13.99, and I'm going to subtract from that the $2.80 of variable cost. That means our contribution margin is $11.19. In other words, for every single pizza that they sell at the full price, $11.19 of that revenue is going to go toward the gross profit. So this is called a contribution margin. And that's per unit. Contribution per margin per unit. And you could do it as an aggregate as well, which is what we're going to do. Let's see what the contribution margin is over the course of a typical Tuesday night. We know that we sell 412 medium pizzas on a typical Tuesday night. So I'm going to go 412 is the number of pizzas, and we're going to multiply that by our contribution margin per pizza, which is the $11.19 to get their aggregate contribution margin, which is in this case is going to be our gross profit on a Tuesday night. So I've got the $11.19. I'm going to multiply that by 412 units, and that gives me a gross profit of $4,610.28. So that is the revenues minus the cost of goods sold, and that gives us $4,610.28. Of course, we're not done yet, but that's the first step. Thank you for that thumbs up. That really helps the channel. I appreciate those of you who are watching this, and if you know somebody else that could use it, be a sharer. Share this with them, and they can be appreciative as well. Now, our special is going to have a new price per pizza. So let's kind of set this aside. Our new price is going to be the $13.99 plus 1 penny. So our new revenue is $14 even. And since there's 2 pizzas, our variable costs have gone up. For 1 pizza, it's $2.80, but I'm multiplying that by 2 because there's 2 pizzas to make. So I'm going to clear that out. $2.80 times 2 is $5.60. That's our new variable cost. So I'm going to subtract that, $5.60. That's our new variable cost. This is our revenue. So this is our special that we're looking into. So our new contribution margin per unit is going to be, and I'm going to take the $5.60, I'm going to make that a negative by hitting the plus minus sign. I'm going to add to that the $14, and that gives us a new contribution margin per unit of $8.40. That's the new contribution per unit. That's the new one. We want to find out at what point we make the same amount of money. And as we did this before, we took the number of pizzas and we multiplied it by the contribution margin. All right, so we've figured out that when we sell the 2 pizzas, it's $14 is the revenue because it's the $13.99 plus the 1 penny is $14, and our new variable cost is $5.60 because there's 2 pizzas, and that gives us a contribution margin per unit of $8.40. Now, we need to remember that this is 2 pizzas per unit, right? Because we're selling 2 pizzas and we've got the variable costs based upon 2 pizzas, and that's our new contribution margin based on 2 pizzas. So let's keep that in mind. We got 2 pizzas per unit, and now let's figure out how many units we have to sell in knowing that 2 pizzas in a unit. Just like we did before, we multiplied the number of pizzas, the number of units, by our contribution margin per unit to get our $4,610.28 gross profit. We don't know the number of units in this case, so I'm going to call that X. We don't know the number of units, so I'm going to call that X. I'm going to multiply it by our new contribution margin per unit. That's the amount that goes toward our gross profit per unit. And I'm going to set that equal to what we want that $4,610.28 is our gross profit that we're aiming for. Now we're just going to do some algebra. We want to get this X by itself to figure out how many units. So this is multiplication, so I'm going to divide by $8.40. And if I do it to one side, I'm going to do it to the other. These cancel out, so my new X is equal to, and this is $8.40, so the dollars will cancel out and we'll get a number. I'm going to type that in here, clear it out. We have $4,610.28 is our goal, and we're dividing it by $8.40 per unit, and that is 548.84 units. So when we sell 548.84 units, we will match our gross profit. We'll match our gross profit from before. So first of all, let's multiply it by 2 because there's 2 pizzas per unit. So I'm going to take the 548 and multiply it by 2. And then I have 1,097.69. And because that is not a whole number, we need to change it into a whole number to 1,098 pizzas. So we have to sell quite a few pizzas to match that margin before. So that's the answer, 1,098 pizzas. And that's how many we need to sell to get the same gross profit as we had before. So you're going to have to decide whether that's doable and whether that's worth it. So that's all I have in this video. Thank you. And I ask that you consider becoming a member. Members get special perks, including early access to videos, members only videos, and you get also your questions get priority. So if you've got a question or need a video created, those are going to get priority. So consider becoming a member. There's a join button below, and that will tell you all the details that you need to know. Also, you would get many benefits if you become a subscriber. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Now go out and make it an awesome day. Thank you.